Right, so having heard that, I'm sort of a bit more relieved. Is it working here? Okay. I'm sort of a bit relieved because 5 years ago I started to dig into this whole area of AI and machine learning. And AI, artificial intelligence and machine learning, I had the question when I was digging into that, is it possible that I become a horse? Yeah, that was the question which came up to me, because being a horse at the beginning of last century, it was necessary to provide transport. After the car was introduced, it wasn't important anymore, so you see the horses there running over there at the race course. So it's not about, if you dig into this question of machine learning, am I the coach driver? No, it's the question of, will I be the horse? Supplemented by technology, and I would be then, not needed anymore in that world. Having heard the panel now, I'm sort of relieved, because it still needs the horses to talk to each other. So this is a good question. It's a good answer on that. So let's look into, backwards. Let's check the signals about machine learning and AI, and that's the question I want to follow up and set the stage for the next coming up solutions. As I said before, the world is not a village, it's a mega city, and it's growing. The mega cities are growing, people are moving from the countryside into the cities, and the infrastructure will be strengthened a lot more than it used to be before. You see, Delhi will come from 28 million people to 38 million people. Shanghai will move from 25 million people to 32 million people. Mumbai will move from 19 million people to 24 million people. And Bengaluru will move from 11 million people to 16 million people. So there's a huge pressure coming onto the city infrastructure. So what do we have to do? Well, talking of AI, we all have to perform in all these three stacks. So in this very analog world of being able to use a footwalk, then doing the digital programmatic computing, we have to compete on that. And the third one is this hyper digital world, the cognitive and the neural learning subset. Said that, we have to take care of the world, living in all these three stacks. And there's one thing coming up here, and this is this. What is it? What is it? Hyper digital world? Yes, could be. No, it's something different. It's climate warming. All this techie stuff is great. All these solutions are perfect. But they will be for nothing if we don't tackle that major question here. So I'm very keen to be here because I hear so many solutions, and I would like to bridge them to Europe and to the States and backward. Because that's what we're going to face. This is the world we're going to live in. On the right-hand side, you see a traffic jam. Oh, it's actually on the left-hand side on that one. Okay. You see a traffic jam. That's my favorite picture of a traffic jam. Do you know where this happened?
China.
It's in China, true. It's in China. It's the longest traffic jam which ever took place. It was for 11 days and 100 kilometers. So it will look different now with Corona, but this is how it looks like traffic in China. And you see the waste and all the housing. So these are the questions we have to answer. Besides that, we've got the CO2 emissions. And this is what we are at the moment. You see the 1950 level, and you see it's an exponential curve. It's going higher and higher and higher. So we really have to get to grips on that. So the claim is not anymore make America great again. No, it's about make climate great again. And that's all our task. We have to do that together. We have to perform on that. We all over the world have to perform on that, in Europe, in India, in America. There's no doubt about if we don't tackle that question, we will be lost. But are we facing, again, an AI winter? We had AI winters on our journey on machine learning 3 times, and are we facing an AI winter now again? Because people are not used to use AI, are not confident, don't trust AI. And again, coming back to the panel today in the morning, if we don't put the human being in the center, we will be lost. So we've got 2 questions. One is putting the human in the center, and the second is making climate great again. And for that, AI could help. If AI serves for a higher good, there's a good chance that we will find a new narrative for the AI and machine learning developments. But we have to fulfill some basics. The first one is from consumer AI to citizen AI. Consumer AI means, well, I get from Amazon exactly the products I wanted to have. This is an advertisement. Google AI supports me by finding the right holiday resort. But that's not the question anymore. The question is, can we get this AI support me as a citizen? As we had it today with a bicycle mayor. Exactly, that's the question. That's why we need the data. And that's why we need machine learning to move forward. So moving from consumer AI to citizen AI is basic. Second, moving from the Internet of Things to the Internet of Thinking. Having stupid sensors sitting somewhere around the road, it's not the answer. No, we need intelligent solutions right in the road. So this is the second basic, Internet of Things to Internet of Thinking. Third, we have to move from silo solutions to seamless solution journeys. Now, don't offer me another app. I don't know how many apps you've got on your smartphone. I've got around 25. But probably all these solutions we have here might add up to whatever, 4,000. But this will not solve the problem. What we have to offer is a trusted, seamless journey for our users, which provides services they really need. So build to partner at scale. And that means open up your silos, open up your mindset, and get together. Cooperation, that's what it's all about. And being like the Danish Vikings, trust and confidence, we get it done. To do that, the key issue there is coming from data addiction to data veracity. Can I trust the data I have or I get? What is the information? Who is hacking into that? Can I trust what there is out there? You all know the stories about using Google Maps and you're driving into the sea, because you trusted that. You don't do that the second time. So the core will be, and these are the 4 basics, to have data veracity at the same time, to trust the data, because if you can't trust the data, it's all oblique. Exactly on these questions, a few clever guys and girls and women came together and said, well, tackling climate change, there's a chance if we use machine learning for that. And you see the group sitting here together is just one part of the group. You see Joshua Berninjo, I can't really pronounce him properly, but he was one of the founders of Corsair. You see Andrew Nick. You see Carla Gomez from Cornell University. You see Lester Mackay from Microsoft. He's the head of AI there. And you see Jeff Dean. He's the chief of Google AI. So all this crowd came together and said, okay, how can AI help us now to tackle the climate change? And now, probably I'm preaching now to the knowing ones. They came up with 12 solutions or 12 perspectives. And so I want to set the stage now for the next panel. One very core is that using AI for electricity systems. That means enabling low carbon electricity is a different question to a grid than you have for normal fuel or coal. You know, if the wind is blowing or not, you have to enable that. So you need AI to manage the grid. Reducing the current system impact. So that means to get the load balance right. That's a core. Third one is to ensure global impact. If we talk about global impact here on electricity, we've got a very strong movement in Germany, for example, for sustainable energy. We produce around 40% of our energy comes from renewable energy. But to back up the rest of the flow, we buy electric energy in France, produced by nuclear power plants. So, this is not the question. This is not the answer. We have to get better on that. Second thing is the transportation. Reducing the transportation activities. Yes, this is core. Second one is improving vehicle efficiency. I do a lot of work for BMW and Rolls-Royce, and we are talking a lot about this. You know, how can we do that? How can machine learning help us in the engines? And how can it be done with electric engines? Alternative fuels, electrification, and to get the modal shift done, what we've been talking today in the morning. Building cities and buildings. Yes, we just heard it. Optimizing buildings, urban planning, and the future of cities. We were just talking about air conditioning. You know, having air conditionings in our buildings is one huge leverage to reduce CO2 if we use the right ones, like having shades, like having the right glass, like having the right insulation. It's not about having aircon sitting on the wall. So we have to check that, and AI will help us on that as well, because it can use, you know, now in smart homes, when to put up the shades and when not, when to start the heating, when not, and all that. Third one, the industry. Of course, in industry there are huge opportunities for AI to help us to tackle climate change. Optimizing supply chains. I just took this blockchain thing in for food traceability. In Western countries, the wasted food is one of the biggest impact of CO2. Round about 30% of the produced food is wasted in the Western world. 30%. Just imagine how much energy goes into that. Through all this growing, planting, agriculture, chemistry there, logistics behind, and then getting that to the store, and then bringing it from the store to the dump. AI could really help on that. The other example is on the other side, it's the Open Quantum Materials Database. It's a long word, but it's a great initiative there. What do they do there? Well, they provide there the formulas of material. Over 63,000 materials are in this database with all this chemical formula behind it. So what can you do with that? You can throw in, well, I want to mix glass with metal. How does that work? You put that question into that database, and it will bring out the formula. Well, you can put it together or not. This reduces the R&D time by 80% just by using machine learning. And this database is growing. So there's a huge potential again of reducing waste and time and energy. Of course, farms and forests is a core. You know, how we produce our food, how much fertilizer we use, how much irrigation we use. AI can help us on that because we can place their sensors to have the right fertilizer at the right time at the right seed. If I know there's a rain coming, I can go out with my fertilizer. If there's no rain, well, the fertilizer is sitting on the earth. That's it. So AI can help us on that. The same thing is on trees and forests. Well, we are facing now a real climate change in the forests as well. Like you might know the German oak tree, known for everybody. Yes. They will fade. They will be gone because they can't cope with the climate change. So what AI can help us is to tell us which trees are the right ones to plant in the forests. So AI again is one part of the solution. The CO2 removal. Yes, again here AI can help us, and MIT just released, there's a new technology they produced based on AI solutions. They can directly reduce or extract CO2 from the air, and to build new products out of that. I just saw a pencil made out of CO2. So there's a world. Of course, adaptation and climate prediction. Yes, it's obvious. Huge stacks of data, we can use them. We can use them for prediction, and then we can adapt our system to that. Social impacts, of course, and we've been talking about that. They're core. It's about infrastructure, it's about social systems, it's about crisis management. All that we can do again connected with AI. Solar geoengineering. Yes, again, if I know how the sun is moving, I can adjust my solar panels to that. That's it. AI can help us as well to get engaged with the questions all around environment. Like I've got two examples here. One is from the World Wildlife Fund. What can you do there? You can calculate your own carbon to footprint. So each of you sitting here or in this room can go to World Wildlife Fund, go on that page, and you can calculate your own footprint. That makes me think. I came with a diesel car to the airport to Munich. I took the flight from Munich to Abu Dhabi, from Abu Dhabi to Bangalore, and if I enter now that page, it looks different to last week. And that makes me think. Lets me think, rethink my behavior, and behavior is core. The other one is transforming CO2 into valuable products. This is actually a campaign running on the page in the world. It's X prize, and if you go there, you can get a prize of $1 million. So if you've got any ideas on that one, go on that page, get engaged. And the world is coming there together on that pages. X prize is really a good initiative to get the best solutions in the world at the right place. And AI is helping then again to reconnect, to build up the community. Training. Yes, AI-based training is coming, and it's helping. And it's helping a lot. So we can reach out into remote areas on one side to provide the right material at the right place for the right student, and training about the ecosystem. AI can help on that a lot. And looking for China, there's a huge movement towards AI-used supported training. And I know in India there are a lot of solutions around there as well. So let's use them. And last but not least, the finance side. The invisible hand. Here it comes again. If the invisible hand comes, we start moving. And we've got two here. The world's largest asset manager, BlackRock, joins a 41 trillion, this is just an amazing figure, climate change investment pact. So the money is there. The need is there. The solutions is there. The energy of people is there. So let's bring it together. So that's what we're here for.